Most cat owners have had this moment. You wake up in the middle of the night. Maybe you heard a sound, maybe something just felt off, and you open your eyes to find your cat sitting completely still, inches from your face, staring directly at you. Not blinking, not moving, just watching. Your first instinct is probably to laugh it off. Maybe you even pushed your cat away, turned over, and went back to sleep, because in your mind, cats are weird. This is just another weird cat thing. No deeper meaning, no reason to look further. But here's what most people never stop to consider. Cats are not random creatures. Every behavior they repeat, especially one they do in the dark, in silence, when the house is still, has a reason rooted deep in their biology, their instincts, and the relationship they've built with you. And the reason your cat watches you sleep is far more layered, far more emotionally significant, and honestly, far more touching than most owners ever realize. So let's go through it, point by point, because once you understand what's actually happening when your cat locks eyes on you in the dark, you will never see that moment the same way again.
Exactly. I've got so many thoughts on what happened this week.
It really is shifting daily. I mean, did you see the demo they dropped on Tuesday?
Oh, absolutely. It blew my mind. But it also raised some pretty huge questions about how we define art in the first place.
Right. So let's get right into it, because we have a lot to unpack today.
Picture this. It's 3 a.m. Your house is dark and quiet. Your cat has been asleep somewhere nearby. And then something shifts. A sound outside, a creak in the wall, and your cat is instantly awake, scanning the environment. That's not anxiety. That's a survival system so finely tuned it took millions of years to build. Cats are crepuscular and nocturnal hunters by nature. Their senses come fully online in the dark. Their hearing picks up frequencies humans can't detect. Their vision is built for low-light environments. They have 6 to 8 times more rod cells in their eyes than we do, and a reflective layer behind the retina called the tapetum lucidum that amplifies even the faintest light. In other words, your cat sees everything in that dark room that you cannot. Now, here's what most owners miss. When your cat watches you sleep, part of what they're doing is monitoring the space around you. They are alert so that you don't have to be. In the wild, cats, particularly those who bond in small social groups, often stagger their sleep cycles so that one member of the group remains aware while others rest. Your cat is doing the same thing with you. They're running security. They're on watch. The practical takeaway here is this. If your cat stares at you at night and seems calm, ears relaxed, tail still, body loose, they're not alarmed. They're attentive. They are performing one of the oldest acts of animal loyalty there is. They're keeping watch over someone they've decided is worth protecting.
Exactly. I've got so many thoughts on what happened this week.
It really is shifting daily. I mean, did you see the demo they dropped on Tuesday?
Oh, absolutely. It blew my mind. But it also raised some pretty huge questions about how we define art in the first place.
Right. So let's get right into it, because we have a lot to unpack today.
Here's something that surprises most people when they first hear it. Cats are not the solitary, indifferent animals popular culture has made them out to be. Decades of research in feline behavior, including landmark studies from the University of Lincoln and Oregon State University, have found that cats form genuine attachment bonds with their human caregivers. Real bonds, comparable in structure to the bonds that dogs form and even to the attachment bonds that human infants form with their parents. What that means is that you are not just a food source or a warm surface to your cat. You are their secure base, their safe place, the being whose presence makes the world feel manageable. And this is where the nighttime staring becomes something completely different. When your cat watches you sleep, part of what they're doing is orienting themselves emotionally. You are their anchor. In the silence of the night, when all other stimulation drops away, your cat gravitates toward the center of their emotional world, which is you, and simply stays close, watching you breathe, watching the subtle movements of your chest rising and falling, confirming over and over that you are still there. This behavior is especially common in cats who have experienced disruption, rehomed cats, cats who've been through illness, cats whose owners travel frequently. The nighttime staring is, in those cases, an expression of something close to relief. You came back. You're still here. I'm staying close. The practical takeaway, if your cat does this, they trust you completely. You have become their definition of safety. That's not something a cat gives easily, and it's not something they give to everyone. Exactly. I've got so many thoughts on what happened this week.
It really is shifting. Cats are extraordinary observers. They spend enormous amounts of time watching the world, cataloging patterns, and building what behavioral scientists call an expectation model of their environment. They learn your routines. They know what sounds mean you're about to leave. They know which tone of voice means affection and which means irritation. They know you far better than most people realize. At night, something interesting happens. Your defenses come down.
You're not moving, not talking, not doing anything. Your face, the part of you your cat watches most during waking hours, is finally still. Your breathing has a rhythm. Your micro-expressions, the tiny muscle movements that flicker across a sleeping face, are readable in ways they aren't when you're active and distracted. Research from animal behavior scientists has found that cats track and respond to human facial expressions with more sophistication than previously believed. A 2019 study published in Animal Cognition found that cats show distinct behavioral differences when exposed to positive versus negative human expressions, and this effect was even stronger with their own owners than with strangers. Your cat knows your face. They've been studying it. So when your cat stares at you in the dark, they are, in part, continuing that study. They're reading the person they're most bonded to in a rare moment of total stillness, taking in information, processing who you are when no one's performing anything. It sounds almost philosophical when you say it that way, but that's genuinely what's happening. Your cat is paying attention to you in the deepest, most patient way they know how. Practical takeaway, your cat's emotional intelligence is higher than most people credit. The bond between you is built not just on feeding and play, but on thousands of hours of quiet, sustained observation from both sides.
Exactly. I've got